Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Good evening, everyone. Well, now I would like to begin my Dharma message. So everyone, please put your hands together in Gassho. The universal vow, difficult to fathom, is indeed the great best of bearing us across the ocean difficult to cross. The unhindered light is a sun of wisdom, dispersing the darkness of our ignorance. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Good evening again. I'm Shinji Kawagoe, Honganji minister from Big Island, Hawaii. Thank you for this opportunity to offer a Dharma message tonight. At this time, I would like to talk about this one. Can you see my masterpiece? Well, I would like to talk about my understanding of Buddhism. Today, I would like to talk about my understanding of Buddhism. Well, although I am from a temple family, I was not very familiar with Buddhism as I grew up. Well, last night during dinner time here, I asked Reverend Fujita, resident minister of Salinas, about his age. And now he's 28 years old and an overseas minister here in BCA. But in my case, when I was 27 years old, I began my study of Buddhism. But it was very difficult for me to understand it. I was worried, would I be able to understand Buddhism like other ministers? My feeling was like a drowning man grasping for air. To be honest, during that time, I kept wondering how other ministers managed to understand Buddhism. I had heard that some non-Japanese people try to study Jodo Shinshu Buddhism in Japan. However, they were disappointed. Why? Because some of them felt that Jodo Shinshu Buddhism and its teachings were only for Japanese people. They thought that Jodo Shinshu Buddhism was an ethnic, local religion. Well, I have no idea what kind of experiences they had in Japan. But when I heard about it, I felt sad. Any sect of Buddhism, including our Jodo Shinshu teaching, is for everyone. I believe that regardless of our race, age, and gender, we can understand what the Buddhist teachings want to tell us. Actually, our daily lives are filled with Buddha's wonderful teachings. Our founder, Shinran Shonin, mentioned in his poem, and I quote, "It is difficult to meet true teachers and difficult for them to instruct. It is difficult to hear the teaching well and more difficult still to accept it." End quote. His poem describes the difficulty people have to accept the teachings as they are. We may encounter great teachings, but unfortunately, it is sometimes difficult to understand how important the teachings are and how they relate to our daily lives. For instance, we are familiar with the Eightfold Path and its right speech guidance to refrain from pointless and harmful talk and speak kindly and constructively. How often have we engaged in gossip among ourselves and being critical and spoken harshly to family members, our peers, or Sangha members? It is important to remind ourselves daily of Amida Buddha's teachings and strive to live lives of wisdom and compassion. Earlier, I read our founder Shinran Shonin's writing from his book that the universal vow, difficult to fathom, is indeed the great best of bearing us across the ocean difficult to cross. The unhindered light is a sun of wisdom, dispersing the darkness of our ignorance. For me, the last part, the unhindered light, is the sun of wisdom, dispersing the darkness of our ignorance, is important to understand Buddhism. When I was thinking how to understand Buddhism, I saw you can see my masterpiece again. I saw a relationship between the sun and the clouds. The sun and the clouds. If it is daytime, the sun is always above me. The sun is always above me. Even if it is a cloudy or rainy day, the sun is still above me, though not visible. Well, the sun never discriminates against or ignores me. Like, does the sun say, "Oh, are you Japanese? I'm so sorry. I don't like Japanese people, so I don't want to shine on you. I want to shine only on American people." The sun would never say that, right? If it is a cloudy or rainy day, I usually don't think about the sun being behind the clouds. In reality, the sun shines on me, even if the sun is not visible to me. If it is the same situation between the Buddhist teachings and people, the Buddhist teachings would be the sun, and our ignorance are the clouds. The Buddha's teachings are always coming toward us, but because of our ignorance, sometimes we cannot feel or notice it. Just as the sun's rays reach toward us in spite of the clouds, so does the Buddha's teachings reach out to us although we may not realize it. So do you think Jodo Shinshu teaching is only for Japanese people and not for Westerners or other people of different ethnicities? As Shinran Shonin mentioned in his poem, it is difficult to hear the teaching well and more difficult still to accept it. Thus, even if we encounter excellent teachers of Buddhism sharing Buddha's teachings, if we are not ready to listen to it, this cloud of ignorance prevents us from seeing how wonderful the teaching is to us. In Hawaii, we recite the golden chain of love. So now I would like to share it with you. I am linking Amida Buddha's golden chain of love. That stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful deeds, knowing that what I do now depends not only my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace. I believe this is a truly beautiful passage. To read the golden chain of love is a really good practice because Buddhism is often compared to mirror where we are able to reflect upon ourselves. Do not allow the cloud of ignorance to determine our lives. Like the sun, let the words of the golden chain of love shine down and guide us in our daily lives. Let the words of the golden chain of love remind us that we are joined together by our interdependence as we strive to attain perfect peace. In my conclusion, I would like to read Shinran Shonin's word again. So everyone, please put hands together in Gassho. The unhindered light, the universal verb, difficult to fathom, is indeed a great vessel bearing us across the ocean difficult to cross. The unhindered light is a sun of wisdom, dispersing the darkness of our ignorance. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namman Butsu, Namman Butsu. Thank you for listening. Thank you very much. Namman Butsu, Namman Butsu, Namman Butsu.